And how's everybody doing? It's May 2nd, 2024. And I actually came on earlier. I knew that I was going to be talking to somebody like around 10:30 or so, about 11 o'clock this morning. And I came on and set up a live and on here, and then it kind of stayed on in the background for, thank you, stayed on in the background for, I mean, I don't know when it finally faded out, but I ended up having hours of conversations with two beings that were around me or were utilized with me in their planning of these timelines that are, they're gonna roll. I mean, it's they're connecting in they're putting them out. Let's just say it that way. Right now. But it's not gonna hold for everybody. It's gonna hold for some. And this is what we don't know what's gonna happen next, because it ain't never been done before. All we can do is watch and know what's happening, what timelines we're changing as much as we can, because we're breaking out of the wheel, but it's splitting. So what's hot on my mind right now is not what was hot on my mind earlier this morning. What's hot on my mind right now is I just saw the freaking British Columbians voting over in the White House, and they have literally have a bill that they sign that basically doesn't let you preach the gospel of Christianity. Okay. That's like nobody being able to say Christ when you go in an underground cave wherever they're hurting people because of the power of it. So this is a great example of these timelines that I'm talking about. And I mean, the people are going to stand up against it, but this is wow. So what was ordered is that all of those who have been voting, all the families of all and all the descendants of everybody that's voting in favor of any of these bills has lost all connection to Christ, the DNA, the body, the foundation of what even, and not even, I'm not even, this isn't about Christianity. This is about Christ being body codes, and the same damn reason they won't let them say it underground whenever they're messing with bodies. So we cut it. Everybody that's voting on this stuff right now, anybody that's voting on it, their descendants, and all of them, all the way down the line. Now, Venus and the sun are in Taurus right now. Taurus is Earth timelines. So Taurus in the wheel is timelines, whether that be AD, which is a new one that just came into play, which I'll talk about in just a second, BCE, BC, whatever the F balls, it's all the same events that happened in overlapping calendar systems, basically, and switching the eras. This is why Swift had an eras tour. Venus yesterday, whenever I got alerted to go check it out, was at last night was at 3 degrees and 12 minutes of Taurus. Well, in a lot of ways, that's the year 312. Now you can also go look at 312 BCE, blah, 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 blah. But Venus at 3 degrees and 12 minutes of Taurus has new timelines, because the divine feminine that was not around in any of these other timelines because of the buying and selling and all this that's happened, and then that ended up becoming the missing men in all of the timelines, have reset it. 312 is all about Constantine. All about Constantine basically coming in and taking over everything in 312 AD. Well, 312 AD is also 1065 AB. Venus being at this 3 degrees of Taurus, because you have to remember that in the wheel, how the wheel was hacked, if you want to call it that, all of the degrees from 0 to 3 degrees were messed with. All of them. Because it never set properly in Aries. It didn't set to a human form. It set to a non-human form. So those 0 to 3 degrees of Aries basically opened a door in every single house from 0 to 3 degrees. Venus being at 3 degrees of Taurus, and 3 degrees of Taurus and 0 to 3 is the avian race. And I just saw a lady talking about Thoth and what a motherfucker he was and all this stuff, and she is correct. But that's the avian race. Well, that's been rewritten. That old sequence with 0 to 3 degrees not setting in with the human race, setting up a superior hybrid DNA sequence to rule everybody, is broken. Is broken. Venus is finally coming into Taurus with all the information. So Venus is clearing these 300 counts, well, I don't know what it's at right this second, but it was in the 3 degrees. Now, at the same time, the sun, so then you look where the sun is, because the sun and the timelines that it's on, which I can't remember if it was, I think it was 1200 and something, where it was yesterday. The sun is changing the timeline. But a lot of the times these timelines are hitting first and then causing a reaction, because there's going to be a group of masses that just go, okay, whatever, we follow you. You know? I mean, it is what it is. So if they just keep following them and and thinking, okay, well, now who are we gonna worship now? What do we need to worship in order to get whatever it is that you're gonna give us, these breadcrumbs and this and this and that? But what they're stepping them into is the Skynet future, and trust me, you don't want to be in that. You don't want to be in that. This is those of us from the future that walked through this and were even sent back here. That's where we were trapped. That's why we risked everything in order to get back into these timelines, because there was no freedom at all. You got in trouble for if you thought the wrong fucking thing. The way they had everything set up on a human form in order to monitor every single thing that you do and put in artificial timelines, put in artificial thoughts, send you fake dreams. I mean, Jesus Lord. That's Skynet. Now, that and we're all looking, because I've looked forward at the astrology for closer to the 9th, because right now Jupiter is entering Pleiades. It's on the outskirts of Pleiades. Now, this is why you've got so many people channeling Pleiadians right now. Do yourself a favor. Don't fall for this bullshit. Pleiadians, that, you know what Pleiades is? Basically everybody with their head out of the matrix but their body still attached. You got your mind out but your body's still under control. Pleiades. Pleiades was a different version of hell, but it would be considered the industry. It'd be considered anybody that has any gifts or powers. It'd be considered your creator beings of all sorts, still bound by rules and blue because they ain't in their body. And you might be able to play the flute, and you might be able to write a book, and you might be able to do these things, but you got to do it as a group, and you got to do it together, and you can't go just start something else. You're all bound together in that energy, and it really is like the first level of consciousness once you clear out of the body codes. That's why a lot of you won't even feel this energy. It's only been named so you know the name. But this is the sexual energy currents. This is the telepathy currents. Like you'll clear through it and won't even realize that's what you're clearing through, because the Pleiades is basically the babies of the cosmos. Pleiades is made from all the star races put together, and then because it's all beaming to the planet where the humans are, and then it's the dome right around it, not way out there. Not now. The Pleiades was used as a birthing canal. This is why Electra was lost. Now here's what we figured out today. Are you ready for a bombshell? I know where Electra was. Well, I know what was on top of it. New Orleans. You had six stars that you could see, and then one that was lost. Electra. You mean Carmen and Electra? Oh yeah, like that kinda. Yeah. Well, what about all the other ones that were the Electras that were missing, that were forming the electricity? Pleiades is it's a birth canal into this dimension. We even purposely gave Hitler the wrong information in the 1940s timelines, and so that he would build it in the wrong place so that we could get back in the simulation. So the Pleiades is the master decan of Taurus. Andromeda's the master decan in Aries. Neither of them are in the book. Neither of them. Because both of them were wrangled in a way to create a fake space program XYZ. I am, with what's come in today and what we've seen, what I saw is that the unholy six took over the six sisters. The unholy six, which is basically all demonic energies, all fucking in one thing, from galactic all the way through any level of lower density energetic that they were trying to embody or take over. Each one was a star point and held a different DNA race, because it's what it was. This is the seven underworld, the seven gates of the underworld. This is the whole ISIS program. This is why you don't know any real princesses. Each princesses and queens throughout time were allowed to be sold and gifted to all these different countries in order to promote and make their race of beings over time. Then in the end, what happened is you had a whole race of us that had made all the races of beings down here, all of them. We were sold to 7 different kings. That's the 7 gates of the underworld. This is the 7 dwarfs. Same thing. This is Epstein. This is why they made them all have sex with 7 different men. Andrew was only one of them. That because it no longer was a marriage, now it was just one sexual encounter. They didn't want to wait 700 years in order to have 700 timelines of marriages. They'll just make a new batch and go have sex with that one and consider it fucking done. And what it was doing to the girls that they were laying with was inducing 700 years of karma back into an already clean line. Not anymore. I mean, this is like the finale right here. This is like the finale. IBM talking about the stellar technology and blockchain and all of that. Y'all need to realize all that shit's gonna crash. It's Skynet. It can't hold us. It can't hold us. And nothing's been built in order to hold us. So we end up just maneuvering it around however we need to maneuver it, and maneuvering and using that energy to change timelines until we can get to a point where our timelines are connecting. But first, what has to continue to play out is all these money moves and this and this and that they moved around in order to take the realm. And so that's also happening in our world because we're watching the different money moves and what's happened in the past 4 years with the making of this crazy ass damn AB machine, and it's turned on. YouTube is now turned on. It's no longer AB testing. It's Bin Labs. If you go to TubeBuddy and look at it, now it says Bin Labs. They're not testing anymore. Now they're doing it. All the AB stuff is being streamed through this YouTube application, and it's coming through to them no matter. At the same time, what's happening is we broke the AB negative stronghold. We changed, like all of us that had the power in the AB negative line that were producing these presidents and men were part of these 7 underworld, what the hell I'm talking about right now. So there's 2 different storylines. One made with Snow White and one with the real Birch. Which is all of us put together. And rewritten. With the knowing that Constantine always had a sister named Constantia that was sold off in a wedding. But that's the energy that we're in right now, because in a way we're like standing there, we're like, okay, you really are the fucking son of the devil. Well, did you meet his daughter? But only because we were made in their weird little system to hold all their karma, and we so good at cleaning it that they kept sending it to us and then taking the power from it and then giving it to Constantine. Nope. Not this time. But that has to run all the way through the piping. That has to run all the way through the system. So Jupiter's gonna be dead on the Pleiades at 26 degrees on the 9th. Tomorrow, I mean, actually it starts tonight at midnight. is when the assets line up on the 33rd dimension. That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. It's really gonna be happening in this tonight crossover into all day tomorrow. Last night in Turkey, Texas, which y'all, I've lived in Texas a long fucking time, like all over this effing state. And I didn't know we had a Turkey, Texas until the girls sent it to me that a tornado like touched down over there last night. And we had the storms go over where I'm at. It started about 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's like a rumbling, like everything's breaking up there. It it ain't normal thunder. It's like and it goes on and on and on. And I could hear, I was up and I waited for the storm to come in, because when it came in, I commanded for all my energy to be magnetized into the core and hold it. Because I was like, man, feminine's magnetism, freaking magnet us up, man. Let's do this. Well, this is attached to the 7 churches in Turkey and the Tartarian infrastructure. But I want everybody to notice something. Turkey already had their earthquakes about 3 or 4 years ago. They're going to be in for some more. But when that Turkey earthquake hit, it was because of a maneuver that they did with me and a money move. I believe that one was 4,000. And it just unwinds. Everything's energetically unwinding. This is why the tornadoes are going backwards. It's a big ass screwdriver. And not only that, the freaking tornadoes that are coming out of the sky, holy shit, it looks like it's a freaking massive screwdriver from like how many dimensions up and away. It's a funnel cloud that starts like at the base root of a cloud system, like 500 miles long. Exactly. It's going through those galaxies, it's going through those wax seals, it's going through the human, it's hitting it on the ground, what I call the 711. It's hitting on the ground, and then it's going to go backwards. It's going to uncoil whatever is uncoiled in a human harvesting simulation. Period freaking dot. It's in Texas. And I went and did a screenshot on Google Earth and kind of looked at it, and I didn't even dive deep in it because screw it at this point. But holy crap, I put it up on TikTok because there's like all these circles and all this crazy stuff that they've gotten all over around that land in order to try to ground it, grid it, change the energy pattern. Like, my God. So IBM be the ones that set me up to trap me in a pyramid system. IBM and Texas Instruments be the main motherfuckers involved in this whole thing. And IBM is what? International Business Systems? Exactly. Exactly. And what is the weather? It was an IBM business. It even freaking told you that from the Weather Channel. We have other reports that from my crew, because we were so involved in these body codes and everything. And I came on, I guess, the day before yesterday, I think, or maybe it was yesterday at the oncology center. I can't remember. Whenever I was at that oncology center outside, and I said a new frequency had come in, we knew that a new body frequency had come in. Well, we got full confirmation on that. And last night, the O blood lines that are your new template holders early this morning as all these tornadoes are going off, which and they're going off now. But in the wee hours of this morning, the O positive blood template holders received a new energetic body framework. All your organs, your brain, the whole 9 yards. But it's on a drip. It couldn't be done all at once. So, but what we know and what she saw process, and this is the woman that did the body healing on me. There was only one down here that could heal me in the end, and everything that she was involved with in order to make that happen on her healing journey with the beings that she had healed. When she did the healing on my robotic half versus this one, because it's like this whole mirroring thing, as she was doing the healing, then realized what she's doing is opening up channels, and I was mirroring them back to her. And I'm able to do that because I'm an AB negative that bore a son down here that was O positive, but I had to be on a 4-day mercury drip to do it. Pure mercury. So that's how that was even possible, is our journeys and all of y'all's journeys that got us whatever. But I'm just explaining to you how it's possible so that you understand it's happening. The organ codes and the body codes and these new templates, they're different. It's going to change. We don't know exactly how everything's going to run, and there's certain organs that you don't even need anymore. That is going to take a little bit of time for that to manifest in the physical, although the past 7 years it's already started. I mean, this is why your bone template will change, your hips will get smaller, the cracks in your skull will end up going away. Some of you, like me, that have a lot of root race energy attached into the Alpha Draconic lines, because you were here as an Alpha Drac changing and distinguishing their fucking weird ass shit like me. You might even have, for a little bit, when you sit down, it might feel like you have a tail, like a not a skin one, a skeletal. It might be because your spine is going to elongate at your coccyx, and a few of you, not very many, but I'm telling you all that to explain then how the hips change. Because when the coccyx and the full connection comes in order to hold all the dimensional energy, then the 12th strand vibrates so quick it creates a 13th. Well, that 13th has been reprogrammed now. That 13th is basically the Ophiuchian. That 13th is basically the evolved beings that took over their weird whatever. Well, and then that coccyx will connect. It feels like it's going to get longer for a minute, but then what it's doing is it's charging to your hips. And then that charge will start elongating, which brings your hip bones in instead of really wide and holding out. They'll bring your hip bones in. So that's an example of how the skeletal changes, and that's already happened. We had that part complete like by 2019. So it just depends on your energetic, it depends on your body, it depends on what frequency you're gonna hold in the end. And none of it is right or wrong. All of it is the way it's supposed to be. There's a bunch of different ones. But we're already to the organ and the brain pattern. because those of us who have already changed the skeletal, we've been da 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 da. What's happening right now is where that energy's flushing through, and it's the right codes, because y'all, I think May is October. I think in the old calendar system, the beings that were born in May on the maypole with the Beltane, with all that May, Scorpio, Buddha, freaking whatever energy, because it wasn't normal for us to have Scorpio full moon in April. It's May. And I think all of us that were held in that structure as a power source, especially the feminines, then what happened is they put us all in October. Basically, if you have a birthday from October 1st into the 13th, then you are on a specific day holding like a specific queen set for May. I know, right? uh the 14th is where it kind of all blends together, and then the 14th through the 31st is attached into the queen set energy. But if you are past October 13th, then basically you're holding the DNA and some reality codes. If you're October 1st through October 13th, then you're holding DNA, body codes, and races and kingdoms energetic. If it's after the 14th or on the 14th, then you basically have all those 13 DNA strands and energetic attachment in half your field, and the other half is the reality that you're projecting from it. And then all the way to the 31st, which we know, and this is why the veil is so thin on what you'd consider Halloween, but this is also why it's celebrating the dead. So knowing that, then we're on May 2nd, and October 14th this last year is when the Spica eclipse was. It was also one of the girls that helped me heal and was involved in a major part of this from in her family lines, from the links into Scientology and like kind of like the new age version of what it all became, and everybody messing with this machine from May to October. That's her birthday. All my girls had like eclipses and crazy full moon something or an eclipse on their birthdays, or a planet going direct on a retrograde, like, or man, something this last year. Not leading up to it. It took a couple of years to link into the cotton. Now it's like in the damn settings for the collective to hit you on an eclipse. Literally. Because it's what it is. It's ancient technology. It's planetary technology that reacts to your blood. It's DNA. It's what it is. That is the organic tech. It's not systems and wires and quartz crystals and machines and silicone, and it's not a networking system. A networking system is a human system. Every single node, that's what they call, when Microsoft came out, it was an infrastructure technology. It wasn't development. It was never supposed to be development. Development was done on Java and Oracle. Oracle is Mayan astrology. Java is connected into the cocoa beans, Java beans, blah, 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 something you put into your body. Then it even worked with Python, is the technology that they call, that connects those two in the back end. It was all developed with C++, VC++, Visual Basic, da 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 da. My point is, not in the body. What Gates did is build an infrastructure, connectivity to human DNA, but it's what it is. He built it all on C. Well, O blood used to be called C blood. C blood is what it is, only because that's what they made it. But all your technology is built on C, but not C plus, not C plus plus. Gates brought in C sharp. 2 plus signs together, overlapping upside down. So now everybody's a hashtag. And a hashtag's in the internet. And C sharp is attached to the framework of every single application that runs across the internet. If it's VC++ or something like that, you're talking about hard coding intellectual property inside some significant thing with a certain system. And if you're dealing with Java, you're programming robots. You're programming an ATM machine. That's C++ in Java. C sharp is basically running a whole bunch of Wi-Fi codes on top of a bloodline, which is what they were doing. I mean, when I say that we're birthing out of the tech, I mean, I'm not even TikTok, man, like or YouTube, but TikTok is where, when you're ready to start manifesting your new timelines, you gotta, and what you put in the technology will manifest. What everyone else is seeing in accordance to your page, everyone else sees that, relates it to you, and then the people and all their focus on it help manifest it into reality. This is why they stole all of our followers. This is why none of us have all of our followers. This is why they gave them to all the celebrities and took over different lines, different timelines, and then took everybody's followers and then just gave it to a celebrity. Like, here you go. Here's 1 million followers. Here, Luna Ash, I'll give you 300,000 followers if you agree in order to take them to Discord. And then, boom. I mean, you just look, that girl went from sitting in her car with her fucking dog, channeling freaking on a little 8-track looking machine thing with no pictures, nothing, to coming online. And, I mean, she had, 100,000, like, in a heartbeat. Then all of us that were working so hard that knew that we had to, and then there became a point in time where we were like, wait a minute, she said the same thing I'm saying, like, she's repeating well, that's because, nothing against her, it just is what it is. Her energy in her chart, it literally is like a telescope. Like her chart energy, because I looked it up, because I was like, show me. How is she picking all this up, but then being so, like, not willing to, I mean, because we had a direct channel to each other. She even sent me $300. Oh, shit, y'all, I forgot about that other 300. Note to self. See what I'm saying? Did she ever show her face? Did she ever show her face? Anybody ever see her? I saw some pictures in Hawaii whenever she went on a Hawaii trip. Funny thing is, she went to Hawaii, but I got stopped short. And then I had to go to Fort Collins and deal with the Mormons. Because we got some scrub on this too. We got some scrub on this today. I want everyone to understand that these different religions and the people that followed the different religions, even through descendants, whatever the fuck balls, within a line, for as long as it's been on, created a reality. This is why the divine feminine. This is why we had to like deal with fucking all of it. Like we weren't just dealing with the Knights Templar. We weren't just dealing with the Cabal and Labs. We weren't just dealing with NATO. We weren't just dealing with Rumpy Rump and some AB negative pony show. We weren't just dealing with the root of all black magic and Crowley and Luciferianism and Satanism, and we's dealing with all of it at once. That's 5 spheres merging together. If it was built on any type of spirituality energy throughout whatever the fuck, the divine feminine has walked it and cleared the magic and cleared the energy. And not only that, made a new current out of it. And not only that, made new technical charges out of it. And not only that, then you want to stick us back into a machine and turn it on? Well, they just turned it on and it's showtime. We've been warning them. We've been telling them, don't do it. Don't do it. We broke your wheel of time, you stupid motherfuckers. If you're ignorant enough to think that you know everything about this wheel, then you shouldn't be fucking with it. Because I can promise you, those of us who fucking know all this about the wheel can't tell you shit about the wheel except for what we've had direct experience with, because you only see it from whatever dimension and view that you've got a DNA strand to. And I can promise you that these motherfuckers were way down here in goddamn kindergarten. Now, the energies from this side and that side that we're all trying to get to kindergarten at once because the human race fell to the fucking level of a goddamn kindergartner on a space-controlled space cadet program. That's some shit that this religious little fucking thing ain't seen nothing about, nor does most people down here have any idea what level of power source and entities you're dealing with outside of this motherfucker. And it makes this religious bubble look like a Furby. And these religious ones that have been in the wheel this whole time, thinking that they could manage the level of power that was coming through in the high and low densities. Honey, we broke your fucking wheel. You have no idea at the end of days, because you didn't want to listen. Each of you thought that you were just running your own little freaking little religious whatever the F files, and we were just running a geo race, and this is all about the amazing race, and which race is gonna win. No, baby dolls. We've been trying to tell you. You gave your power to a fucking entity that there's no way in hell you can even you'll ever make it out of it. Not for a while. Not for a while. You're gone in it, man. If you're connected in these lower ones, you're gone in it. You're already in the pot. I mean, your only savior is if you're an angel. And your true intention was always to get in there in order to blow the motherfucker up the whole time, which is why you existed in it and nobody saw your ass. And trust, there was one of us in every compound. And it only took one. And I don't care if they're completely fucking unconscious. We's hearing everything. We's in every room. We's in every meeting. We's in everything. And this is the entire collective that's now in the cosmic consciousness. And up here, we were smart enough to set it up in goddamn layers. Because you can't take it in all at once. It'll blow your Cocker Spaniel. Elizabeth. Why the fuck do you think we let you do it all to us? It wasn't to make 5 people really fucking wealthy. Y'all can't even hold it. You're gonna fucking lose your lid in one way, form, or another. Now, what's interesting is that we took over the narrative too. Because the whole thing was run with 6 motherfuckers that were the unholy 6. Well, we've been coming into alignment for a while. We've been coming into alignment for a while. We stopped playing at the end of 2022 because we knew that we had already won. Then all we had to do was hide in death and wait for you to come. All the while, you thinking that, what, we were out of gas? Is that what you thought? No, we just wasn't gonna fuck with it because we knew we had already won. So why make it more confusing that it already was? Because we know you were changing everybody's names and fucking sending it all to us to begin with because we figured it out. Because we had to break all your fucking breeding lines of your girls and your boys. Completed last night. Processing today. And that's the handler lines connected to the prison systems. This is what the hell Diddler had a fucking job over. Because all it was a dimensional line, just like what I talk about over here. Because these layers that exist, they exist for a reason because they're connected into different cosmic star energies. And y'all got to remember, what is cosmetology based on from way the fuck back then? Mythology. It's all been about the ology today. That might be what I need to go back and title this. It's all about the ology. Biology, Biden, biology, bisexual, binary, biology. I'll say it again because this is where the mermaids and all that was made. They made them. Yeah, they exist. They fucking made them. They bound your ass and fucking use half-fish, and is a real thing because the divine feminine was tied like that. A lot of it's on one fucking leg in one dimension, and then they'd sew our legs up. They'd kill us, sew our legs up, put us in a gunny sack, plant us somewhere in a network. Right, Gates? I break your Microsoft fucking net. All set up on some Mormons that eat, sleep, fuck, and piss in a gunny sack. They can't dance and they can't do XYZ because what? They're a bunch of mermaids? They'll create too much energy? I mean, okay. But then you're going to let some old motherfucker who's been down with the devil marry 60 of them and fucking make them all miserable and kill the human race in our feminine codes because they happen to be the girls that are connected to the whole goddamn thing because you had them stuck in a fucking breeding program and stole them from other dimensions in order to fucking make it happen? Time Lords? You can't out Mormon me. I can promise you that. You know they got the doctored covens. They call it the doctrine and covenants. Now here's what's crazy. Do you know where this verbiage is? In your homeowner association shit. That's what I said. Go when it comes up, because it'll show you. Now that you know, now that you heard this, watch. Oh, wait, I need you to sign this again. Wait, let me read it this time. Covenant, excuse me. Wait a minute. I have a question. Do you know what covenant means? You know what the lesson is to the human race? This is how bad we let it get. That's all of us. That's all of us. Every single one of us down here. This was a human experience. Oh my God. Can I tell you right now that I feel like something is like on my C3 like a motherfucker right now? What time is it? 7:30. Woo! And I never get that. Let's take some deep breaths. Out. In 1, 2, 3. Out 1, 2, 3. In 1, 2, 3. Out 1, 2, 3. In 1, 2, 3. Out 1, 2, 3. Now breathing through your mouth softly. Blow it out through your mouth. Breathe naturally. Take a minute to see the difference between what it takes to breathe back naturally. There it is. $7:32. Is anybody feeling a rhythm? If you're feeling a rhythm anywhere in your body right now, of a pulse, of a heartbeat rhythm, please tell me where you're feeling it. 7:34:77. Crown, ears, throat. Thank y'all. We're doing this right now. Heart. Me too, Linda. Like right here is like a fucking bass drum right here. Boom, 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 boom. Wait, I'll tell you. Boom. Throat. Whole body. My heart. Right. See, that's a new tone frequency. This is the organ reset. Danielle got it last night. Danielle's live on here right now. This is my sister. This is the one that healed me. She's right there. Now I can tell you who she is because she just gave me the mother load. So there she is. Stay the fuck away from her. And I know all about your Verona Walk secret. We took your reserves, motherfucker. Who the fuck do you think you're fucking with? Now get the fuck back, because we're elevating and quick. Everybody needs to freaking watch out right now. I gotta clear the ears and the nose and the throat real quick. So I gotta think about, just give me a second, because I can do that. Just, we're gonna need to take another like 3 breaths. I'm still getting spun out in my, now it's right here. I mean, because there's a lot more. It's right here right now. It's 7:36. Okay, everybody kind of stretch their neck. Don't press it. If it starts feeling uncomfortable, don't try to get it out right now. Just kind of let it crunch. You hear all that crunching? Crunch, 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 crunch. Now go the other direction. Crunch, 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 crunch. We command all the tissues to evaporate that are in our way, and all connectivity from all of the 44 count body codes to be installed now. Upgrade now. I got 6 on. See what I'm saying? Percentage angle to, I'm doing Pleiades, okay? I'm doing the Pleiades energy codes right now. Percentage angle, change, ignite, alpha, D22, change, S current. Chastia, Brigitrive. Connect, bridge, Y, chromosome, alpha, D22, change, S, Hyades. I command G control now of all fucking realms to line up as one, and everybody bow to the fact that none of y'all knew what the fuck was going on, first of all. And then now I'm gonna call in the alpha angle to split wide the fuck open and spin this motherfucker out of the vine as far as it needs to fucking go to latch. Alpha equals 3. If you ain't got 3 and 1, then you better back the fuck up and realize what you've done. Okay, did y'all feel something on one side of your body? I felt it right here. It's getting hot on my right side, but this was my mechanical side. I feel it on my right. It's heating up right here. Rocking. Where are you feeling a heat of some sort, and what side of the body are you feeling it? Side to side. That's good to know. That makes sense, because it's going to be like, this is the organic. This one's what's breaking down. This one's taking over. Same spot, my left. See, that makes sense. Her and I opposite. She's on the receiving side. So mirror. Y'all give me a second. Override AI. AI is 1-9. 1 or ignite 9. AI is alpha being 1, but it's really 3. But you have to have the ability to break it all the way down to 3, which left everyone else beneath me, it seems. We're like passing through some weird ass etheric gates right now because we opened it up. So basically, like, what's happening right now is our energy is overflowing the system, and then even above that, this is where you got to be able to prove as you're coming out. Then this is, I've been having to do this a long time. I freaking have to tell them what to do, but I can read what's coming at me and what is they're telling it to do in the system in order to elevate the energetic, in order to hold it and not gate it. I swear to God, it's Skynet. So did Skynet only exist on Pleiadian constructed 6 different layers? That's a 6th dimension. That's a lost 6th root race. And we knew it made a lot of them, did it not? And they're all, we're like, people are spinning out right now. See, this is why all of y'all too, see, and this is all part of us opening up the throat. I want everybody to recognize everything since I've said that. Okay, I've got to open up the throat. This is part of me doing it. It's going, it's right here. Now it's on my right side at the base. What is Dr. Dawn on? Right backhand of the brain. What is that called? Not the vagus, to the right of it, basically. Bella. Oh my God, how could we not see this? Moo. So that's Moo, Bell, Cere, Cere. Oh, Jesus Christ, right now. Superstar, Techno Babylonian. Woo! Like, literally. Did that do it? I'm hearing, believe it or not, it did. Okay, now I'm getting spinal column. Oh my God, do you feel that? Isn't this a trip? Telling you, this has been happening in our world for a while. Do you feel that charge down your spine right now? And there goes the heartbeat again. And there goes the heartbeat again. Telling you, getting out of this motherfucker is a trip. We look, we had to go princess on their ass in order to be able to do it, because our first instinct is get us the fuck out of here. On every level. As soon as you get to the next level and you think, oh God, we got out, then it's like, boom, and you're like, God damn it, get us the fuck out of here. So then we had to basically learn that everything that we were yelling at was coming back at us. Like, if we yelled at it, it yelled back at us. It literally matched whatever we sent. So then there was a period of it where we came in through again, doing this again, and we get to the net, and then you'd have to change it up. And then basically then this is how you end up reading all these different energetic lines attached into DNA, attached into the machine. And if you have all the body codes of everybody down here because you've been lost in the breeding system to the point that nobody even knew I existed anymore, obviously, which is why you thought that you could get away with this, but that was all the original plan. Hi. I know what you're doing, and I'm not gonna let you. We've been in and out of this motherfucker for so long. I mean, we created the way to get in and out. That's why just get in line and trust that the sister that's in front of you on the other side of the country that's connected to you in a different dimension that you don't even know, which bred thousands and thousands of lines of timelines of beings, is all doing it together. You just have to trust that the blood and your frequency connected into it is gonna hit each other, and control the frequency and the backlash and the chaos within the line as best you can with all the abilities that you've mastered over getting out a funk of honky doodle diddle Disney da da do da 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 do 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 da 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 do 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 do. Poop poop beep beep pop peep pop peep pop poop poop poop. Pop, pant, 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 pom, pom, pop, pop, pant, 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 pom, pom, pant, pom. Like literally. That's all I hear. Mo ma mo ma mo ma mo ma ma ma. Mo me me mo mo me 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 mo 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 me 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 mo mo me me mo mo. M's, money, mother, mom, motherboard, mo, um, 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 Oh my God, right now. This is why I could never learn. I always wanted to learn a whole bunch of languages in my little avatar world called Christy. I used to really did want it, but this is why I couldn't, because I bet, man, I'd fucking spun us out a long time ago. They're not gonna let me see all the versions of that word at once. But trust, we broke telestai like a long time ago. The word had this is why you have a 6-layer chessboard. Phonetic changes, but when you get up in the technology, because realize the reason that the technology was made is so that we could manifest ourselves back into the realm and not have to fucking die. It's why we allowed our bodies to be sought up. We're ancients, man. I know these missions that I talk about sound like a big deal because they are. But in another dimension, is like if you're immortal, it's kind of like you signed up for a 72 million year mission. Yeah. Okay. I'll go. I'll, sure. For the payoff in the end. This just happened to be a bag in a time that we needed the whole haul. And all the pirates were used to getting their percentage. And then we had ga 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 ga. And then we went quadrillionaire. On a cue. I mean, because really it is. It's to the point that's what everybody needs to know. Like we're at quadrillion over here. Why are you worried about the trillion? um, we blew your million system. Million, billion is a spell. It's a spell, but it's illion. It's ill. It's the base root of the Illuminati. Hello. Basically, Illuminati took over the Knights Templar bag a long time ago. This is why we never came out of the box, people. Trust the shit that we've been through. But then it was always the power source of how it was birthed. Okay. So you if you're gonna wield that power in this realm for your bloodline, you got to go through training and prove your worth, include and prove how you do it and be tested. Because basically, all that's happening is you're getting a push. You're getting a push of the new line. How are you gonna deal with it? Are you gonna go ah? Everybody's coming for me. As soon as you get a push of it, then you'll be utilized for something else, but you can't be at the front of the line. Because when it's coming in, it's like that's what it's like. You see the shadows, you see all of it. You're activating all your recessive genes. Your whole entire body is turned on. It's body consciousness. It's not just your mind. This is like techno Babylonian walking pharaoh shit. All together. So like here's kind of the sucky part. Because I mean you gotta kind of develop your own frequency kind of. But they find you. When you're in the blood, it comes in exactly when it needs to. What was concerning is that the channel was never growing at all. Release all valves on tech to our energy stream now. Delete OPT. Delete all opticals off K. Cut all lines from Jack to Queen, from J to Q. Delete the foundation of G from Q. This has to do with CC now and the C going one way because when the G releases and it takes it to the C core. Y'all please tell me if y'all are feeling anything from this. 756 on the 711. Ooh. G to Q. Yeah, because it's like a screw. Because the G is at, because the G holds the gamma. So the G holds the link into Q. And basically then it like, kind of like X and Y. Elon's weird kids. Y is the male chromosome, but it's made from 3 feminine charges. Now we know because we had to put it back together because these motherfuckers fucked around and broke it. But then we was like, okay, we'll just reprogram the human brain the way it needs to be programmed now. Divine intervention. No, like, because we weren't aware whenever we started that part that all this was what the fuck was going on and coming for us. But now we get it because it's a fucking system. It literally is. It's a system. We took over the system. Just takes a minute. Hold on. We're at like the weird, everybody's going to freak out type of thing. About whatever. Because there's no energetic, we're breaking the geo gates. There's a lot of these G's. Every single time they spun the G and anchored it, there's like 13 galaxies, I call them. Hooked down underneath the Q and above the Q, which makes it a little squiggly with that connection, but it's a 7. 7 gates, that's the 7th dimension. That's even like where the Judah, the original line of Judah, and that's not Judean, whatever you call those original lines that were linked down into the ones and the descendants of the prophets and of the characters that y'all, because y'all created us with reading the books. We show up down here and it's like, oh my God, what's going? Does anybody remember me? That's why it was such a big deal to get your name in the book, get your name being written over time. Problem was they took out the feminine line, changed it, killed us. Everybody's names changed, bashed our face in so that you couldn't tell who we were. Like, it ended up making AI, but all we were ever doing was trying to get the spirit back in everybody. Literally. Literally. All of y'all that were on the mission, y'all know, because from 2018 to like what the fuck's going on like right now, you're like, what the fuck? This is what the fuck. We broke the machine and it's just like, but they's ready to catch it because they knew. That's why they did it. They didn't think that we would be able to fucking control it. That's the part they didn't think. They's wrong. Who do you think wrote the record right here that we got in and walked through? And now we all know who you are because we met you along the way. All you can do is change the story, man. All you can do is try to change the story, and this is in your life, connected into the ones that are witnessing this right now, that are walking through this point right now. Like, ride in a way what you're putting in is what your desires and your energies are in order to be around you, in order to sustain whatever it is. Right ear and something with double X's. X's and Texas, and then Exxon Mobil, and then X is basically just two pillars on its side. Because basically, when 9/11 dropped, boom, because it blew the towers. Well, there's another set of towers in Texas. Now we know. Because basically, that just what it did is drop that dimension. Boom. See, because the whole thing was a big machine, is running. Everybody was unconscious too. I mean, seriously, like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Realize that you were like attached to at least two. I don't care who you are down here. You were attached into two others, I don't know. You might be at the bottom of the dimension. You might be in between. There might be one that looks really, really great and really, really bad underneath you, but you're all three working in a unit on three different timelines. At least. At least. Look, that's two. And you. Three. And then if there was four, then one of them was a sacrifice lifetime. So in order to get from the start to the finish, then you had to have one lifetime that you go down for everything, even though you're not doing anything wrong. In order to get us here for when they do this shit, so that we can hold it off and fucking take over. Literally. This is what I'll ta-da about. This is why China had so much control with what Biden was selling. Okay, see now we're getting to the neck. B. Oh, the ta-da over B. Breathe. 1, 2, 3 in, 1, 2, 3 out. We're gonna do 3. Hold on, I'm gonna prop my arm up some more. Let's switch the camera. Oh. Techno side. The ash side, the techno side. The part that was in the grid system already, giving you the power. But that's what it was. Body's in a grid system. See, when that pops, no matter where you are and what energy you were in, when it pops, then you go up another level. Then for a minute, it feels like really, 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 really dense. But it's also not like The energy might be dense, but it's not like full of evil and Pepe Le Pew shit. It's just dense. And this is also bees. This is more insectoid. Deep breath in, blow out. Mind patterns. Tell me if you feel something lifting. It's lifting on the top of my nose and my crown. And I got 20% left on the battery. But I can plug it in if I need to stay on longer. But right now it's right here on me and in my wrists on the left side. Here and then wrist. Right ear. Shoulders. Delts. The delta. D22. 3-2. Angle, break, angle. Angle, cross, right. T becomes 1-1. So it's 1-1, 1-1-1. 5 1s. Antares, your throat. Tell me if y'all start feeling anything in your jaw area. Left wrist, left shoulder. Oh! Is one boom. Fingertips. $11 9, exactly. Going into one set with full fucking vision in every dimension of space and time. That's why if you did some bad shit, you're gonna have to see what you did before you get out. It's fucking impossible not to. It's impossible. They whatever they did when that energy, it's physics. It's in a stored vacuum. Whatever they did in that energy in order to manipulate the feminine energy, knowing, because they damn well knew what the fuck time it was. I promise you that. Not the sleeping humans. They didn't know what time it is. That's not who I'm talking about. That we just took over. So you could breathe. There it goes. Breathe in. Cold. Cold right here. That's Sagittarius. That's Antares. That's 7 to 9 degrees Sagittarius, and that's what hits it on the other side is Aldebaran. No, Ron. Al got broken and put back together so many times. We did our best to put it back together. But since everybody was trying to attack us, it kind of went crazy in the physics, and this was divine intervention, and we've just been told that whatever happens next is not our fault. You did it because whatever the hell that you tried to do to us. That's all we know. All we know is that we're learning how to breathe over here. We're turning on our bodies again. You better step the fuck back. You're going to see what the tada was about. Breathe. Work on tonight, breathing with your lungs, with your ribs. Push your ribs out, push them back in. Push your ribs out, push them back in. Just for a little bit. Just do it consciously a couple of times. I'm programming that in. Because we need to be able to expand. I've been in and out a few times of this part. And then I'd get a little further, and then I'd get sent back to one. Okay. Then we were connected then to everybody else, and then they freaking put it in the tech. Now our tech energy's coming through the thing. Like, who freaking knows? We're utilizing it to manifest. We're utilizing it to do whatever. It's why it's here. But understand that then there's a level above that that was all about controlling that layer on how you print yourself from this side to this side. And then there's a whole nother little thing. See, now all these different pieces, the more that your life and your journey has been a part of it, the more hidden and buried and special you are at the bottom of the fucking source of what all their crazy shit was built off of. From trauma and whatever in your lines. That's why no matter any of us backing our lines or standing up for your people, that we all got different people. That just make sure you're leading them in the right direction. Otherwise, that ability is going to go into the next lines up that do have the ability to connect in with everybody to get it under control. Basically. Because for those of us who like planned and all this happened and lines were made and all this was done on the dark side, is to do one goddamn thing, is to show up to make sure that we were conscious when this thing clicked in again, because we knew it was going to happen. And all the rest of it is like the stories of it all. All of it. All the mythology and everything else. Because it's how long it's been going on. Ways in a wheel. Or a giant hole in the cosmos. But it is kind of how it works. Then in the folklore of the one perspective is that you're the star people and you're na. But then even that got, It was on a continuous loop. And it was getting denser and denser and denser and denser. I mean, honestly, I think what we're doing right now is projecting to the other side because we're having to project to the other side right now because otherwise there's nothing there. And there's been several different layers of this that we had to worry about. The first one being when the atmosphere breaks and all these beings are on the planet. They don't even know that they're attached to the planet. Most of it's in a freaking simulation, and it's got 6 different levels of it, and it's connected into all these fucking DNA strands and shit to where it's taking them out on layer by layer. Like, it's fucking nuts, man. And then it's all then they gritted it down into the core of fucking everything, like holding on for dear life. Like, what the fuck right now? Like, the whole, I mean, we were told to tell you that it's not our fault. Every single one of us told you as you was doing it. This is not a good idea. Shall we look at this from another perspective of what's about to happen if you do this? Let me explain. Huh? Okay. Here we go. Well, what y'all did was create some really, 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 really high frequency beings with an intellect that will freaking rock your world, obviously. And now we've turned it on in the entire collective. And now we are going to over stupid you. Ma, 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 ma. Ew. I mean, the whole thing is just, and then technology is even worse because technology literally is Babylonian techno spells. They're Babylonian. It's just a lower frequency of the way to maneuver it in a computer system, not even a voice delivering it through a freaking system, through a freaking network. You mean the human mind? It's quite a network. You are correct. Gates, get the fuck off my cerebellum. 819 801 90. I was told this is not our fault. We tried to warn you. We cannot predict what happens. That's not how we do it. That's how they do it because they're using our energy, and this is the only way they can get away with using it is by doing it that way. But that ain't how it really works, and we tried to tell you. Good, Linda. I'm glad. I'm glad. It's fucking nuts. It's like, knock, 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 knock. Who's the Babylonian princess? Yo, down there. Who's the Babylonian princess? I am, 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 I am. Like everybody, I am, I am. Okay. You back there. The one in the very back. You. The one that never says anything. When we call for one. You. Come with me. And then all of a sudden I'm doing this. Charting eclipses. Love y'all. You might want to get in the water, you might not want to. Sometimes, if you usually do, this time you might think, okay, wait, do I need to do what I usually do in this energy, or do I need to do the opposite? And that's for those who don't need water usually, or whatever, just your energy's changing. You need to acclimate it into the field that you're in. So as you don't, because you don't want to have everything changing before you change. You got it? Like you want to change first, and then everything else will change, and then it'll happen, and there might be some crappy things you've got to do to deal with XYZ in y'all world, but it's becoming more and more like fuck it. You want me to clean it up? You didn't even give me a way to do it. So, I mean, it's like this is divine intervention. System's going down. I mean, if you haven't noticed. And Danielle is reminding me it's on a drip. It's on a drip in your body. Cause we've still got some energy that's like right up in here, and so this is gonna be clearing some different sinus levels and things like that. And then if we need to be back on here, we'll be back on here. You know how it works. But like this ain't an everyday type thing. We just brought in this frequency. But we're still. See, this is Neptune. Neptune's getting blown out of the water. Why am I seeing Kurt Chambers, man? I met that motherfucker in Nashville. I knew there was a reason he went and put his guitar pick on my fucking table right there. And then he kind of came over all, I don't even know. I wasn't rude, but I wasn't like, I'm never like that with those type people. Like, what's up? But it's in Nashville. Why is that coming up right now? CEC. Chamber. Well, I know. Exactly. And I think that's what pissed me off. I think that's what turned me off is he put that guitar pick on my table, and I knew subconsciously he just fucking did something. Trying to think if that was before, or because I went to Nashville a couple of times. When did I meet him? Which time? Because we had to be there a couple of different years, because it started. Nashville ain't nothing without Memphis. We cleared that. We had to in order to take control of the Illuminati 33 lines. So we had to clear all of it. That's why everything had to be recreated again, literally. Like the timelines, the way that they were going over and over because of how they were laying the burial plots and how they were laying those out in sequences, and then those became like your vampire lines. Everything was linked into with the human DNA and the burials and the tombs and the dead bodies. Literally. On the other side. As we were coming in, we put it back together. And then we did it so many times that there was always a battle at the end of who could hold the power of it. But the whole time we was connected from down here too. We was just little black speck over and out. Whatever that is. Toes. Souls. Zappo. Amazon. Veritas. Skull. Jars. Santa Barbara Josephine. It turned to static. Is your ear popping? My right ear's popping. SSS codes? Probably. You mean the ones that mirror the 555? 323 and 232 are the union codes. That's 555. Those are what was set in the Egyptian lines, was the 555. But that's why it went 5G, because when you went for 5G, then they went out in another gamma layer to grid us down in our own I don't even know what to call it anymore. I have run out of giving it a word, whatever that is that you've got to get out of this thing, because it really is freaking nuts. Thing is, like, once you get a group out, everybody else gets out. It just, oh. Me and the girls were talking about this today. We have all experienced. This is how we know it's true. Because once the one on the higher timeline hits gets money of some sort or blah 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 blah, it's supposed to trigger down the line to everybody in these 6 dimensions in some way. But all those lines were cut and taken out and taken over, and we were all trapped in order to make the current that it all existed off of. That's why there's no more money. We even sacrificed 4 years in order to make bit, in order to, and we even signed up to do it because we was already trapped in the system, because we thought that the humans would kill one another for everything after we already saved them because they didn't have any money. And so we, the collective and Star Crew, we did because we were trapped in the system. So it was like we were having to come in anyway. We're having to tell you, okay, fine, we can make a digital current. Well, that's how Cohu 32 came in, because there's always a macrosity whenever you're dealing with what we're dealing with. This mind is technology. You don't need the goddamn technology. Your body is the computer. They can't keep up. And then it got to where they produced a body so much that then they just wanted to snap your soul out and put it in a pretend body. Thanks for the new body codes. We kind of went back in order in all of human history to all the times that you've done this before, and all we were trying to do was like live down here, and you came snatching our bodies and trying to make other bodies for other bodies, and then you didn't care who the fuck that you were doing it to, and we told you, oh, there's those of us you should not do this to, but you did it anyway. And then this is how this ended up, but all in the end, it'll be the best outcome for the human race, because then we don't ever have to deal with this shit ever again. And now it's a new frequency, and you're upgrading, and you're evolving, and it's all happening right the fuck on time. But it is a new frequency, and it goes into your reality. But this is where your spiritual and your intuition abilities kick in each of these DNA lines. And they're all a little bit different. And you'll end up having your own little versions of whatever that pop up. But just remember that you're on a 3-headed dragon, you're on a 5-headed dragon, you're on a 7-headed dragon, unless you're the dragon. But then if you're the dragon, you still got one up there, one in the middle, and one down there. But it's so true. And as you're clearing through those, some of you might go through all the different heads of the dragon. Thing is, what's funny about it is once you clear the first one, then you're thinking you're done with it, and then you find out about 2 years later, and then you go, oh shit, that was a 5-headed dragon. Oh, okay. That makes sense now. But in the middle of it, I couldn't be shown that because I was in it. It's not like you get forewarned that you are entering stage 5. No. Your energy just shifts. Now you're in a bigger energetic body connected to other energetic bodies that are holding that frequency together. But it really is like that. Because it's new physics that are moving, and you're creating it in your body, and then there's like a third energy that's there out of what you've purely created. See, all the shadow stuff that you know and that you've had to live through and whatever is going to be what fucking it's going to show you what that's really about, and then it's going to show you how to use that power if ever you encounter that energy again. And then the more you do these little things, just energetically, through your frequency change in some way, different ones of us, different ways to deliver it. Mine happens to be a lot in speech, the sound of my voice, and the cadence of my speech, and how I This is even why it kind of change it up. And this is why I like to bop around. This is why I like to get all up in you like this, because it's full moon on the 7th too. And it's in 18 Taurus. See? We got all this to die about timelines. And all these different energies from all these different AD timelines, whether it be medieval times, whether it be fucking World War II, wherever the fuck. I mean, because they're just running a bunch of different replays of some shit where they took us over before, trying to paperclip it together. But what we're doing right now from May 3rd to May 5th is taking over all their king's DNA strands. Literally. Energetically. We just all got that uplift. Not the boys. That don't mean boys aren't gonna get it. It's like, congratulations, you followed the girls. You knew better. You were like, I don't know what up with that crazy bitch, but for some reason when I listen to her, man, it starts making sense. All you men that had some intuitive feminine, thank you for being here. Oh my God. Now you can explain to them how you knew we were right the whole time, but then you realized, oh shit, she's just somehow on my dragon, man. There's a reason Elizabeth is not in the picture. That dragon had 50,000 heads. Literally. Deal with that on 5 dimensions. Okay. If you know, you know. That's got to show up down here somehow. And oh my God, it's pretty fucking gory. Well, I got to Earth and then they made me into a sausage. Oh my gosh, right now. Oh, maybe that was my sacrifice lifetime. Probably. I mean, I came through their body. I had to like jump out of that motherfucker at one point, a couple of points, and then through him. Not him. Exactly. What ended up being made of the rest of him. My God. Oh, Lord. Oh, because the moon's in Gabriel right now. Fomalhaut. This is Fomalhaut energy, too. Kind of like I've been in Romeo and Juliet. Gabriel. That's where the moon. That's where the moon is right now, and that's even like this whole princess thing, and like having to deal with these different gates and stuff like that. Well, what Gabriel does, he gets you from point A to point B. Not really sure what happens after that. But he definitely is involved with like crossing you over. And that's Fomalhaut, Pisces. Really, 3 to 5 degrees. That's where the moon's going over right now because we just came out of Cygnus. See, and that's hitting Virgo. And then that's where my government natal chart is attached to NATO clone version 1007, whatever the fuck after. 007. Spiders. Russian mind programs. German made, Russian trained. Beware. No matter. There's a whole bunch of us. We make Charlie's Angels look like some kitty cats on Josie and the Pussycats. We do it on 3 different dimensions, all inside the freaking illumination of the whatever the, I don't even know. We show up on every dimension. I don't know how it doesn't get projected because I know we're showing up on every dimension now. So, I mean, it's about to pop. It's got to. I guess we're going to see what happens next. All right, guys. I love y'all. Mwah. Thank you for being here for the healing. If you see this, yes, that just happened. We call it a healing. Mine are a little bit different because I break open collective gates and gas pressures on your field. So if you've been feeling extra tired, if you've been feeling extra drained, if you've been feeling extra on that end, then good news, you're gonna open up. Bad news is maybe you might get a little congestion, you might start sneezing, the air pressure's changing, that's what's happening. But that's what it is. Every time you sneeze, you just broke a dimension. Just think of it like that. If you start doing them 3 in a row, achoo, achoo, achoo. It's when you get like to 6 and 7 like me that's extra trippy. If you're like, it's because you're blowing through those energy gates because your body's activated and assimilating and all that's coming off. Whatever's going on around you is what's coming out of your field. So that's why you kind of learn how to navigate it like that. And if you're entering that stage, you'll learn. You'll get what I'm saying. Because the energy's clearing out of you into a new grid, but then you're being shown at different layers how you affect the grid. Or the reality, or the tech, or whatever, because you are. And so it's like at each different layer of that, we're all going into new territory, including brand new territory. Nobody's ever been there before. That's the new part. And that's the timelines that we've been doing the best we can, man. Nobody showed up and told us how to do this thing. So we took it over from the star systems down, like that's how it worked. And we're going to see what happens next. Hang in there. Night.